let's talk about the Royal Rumble, huh? So the Royal Rumble event, it's one of the only two events I watch every year. I mean, that I have to watch for the WWE. But it's fun because you usually have surprises. You know, there's some fanfare with the actual Royal Rumble event itself. It's a chance to maybe see an old timer come back or a surprise entrant like AJ Styles last year in 2016 was awesome, awesome debut, and he got a huge pop, which was great. My pal Kenny Omega is signed back with New Japan Pro Wrestling for another year. So he was not at the Rumble. Maybe next year. But, you know, he put on by the way, Kenny Omega put on at least a 5-star match at Wrestle Kingdom 11. Check it out. Just off the charts. 45 minutes and just one of the best matches you'll ever see. Match of the year. Early match of the year. But there are some good matches, though, at Royal Rumble. Not a match of the year, but a very good match between John Cena and AJ Styles for the title. I don't mind AJ Styles losing because he lost like a champ. Like, it took an Avalanche, AA, and Cena rolling through and hitting two more basically in a row after AJ kicked out of the Avalanche AA in order to beat him. Like, he really had to have the kitchen sink come out to beat AJ Styles. So AJ Styles is hugely popular, even though he's a heel, because people respect the hell out of him, and he's the champ that runs the camp. He's the face that runs the place, which I think is endearing. I think they'll turn him face at some point this year. I think it makes sense to do that, even though I love him as a cocky heel. It's just he knows he's good, and he is good. But he lost, but he had a good run. He had the title for about 3.5 months, 4 months. That's fine. I'm okay with that. That's good. The Royal Rumble event itself, though, was lackluster. At this point, I mean, like every year, me and Ian complain about the Royal Rumble, how the winners stink every year, whether you're pushing Roman Reigns down our throats, or Batista, which was one of the biggest wastes ever when Daniel Bryan should have won. It's just, they're really just not, they don't usually listen to what the fans want. However, this year, the difference with the Royal Rumble was that there wasn't like a clear front runner or winner. There was rumors, but it still was like, it could be like 2 or 3 different people that would have made sense, especially since now you have the brand split, which makes it even better because now you can have a guy fighting for the title on Raw or SmackDown, which was one of the reasons why I'm glad they did that. But just to comment on the Rumble, the middle of the Rumble, nothing happened. It was great in the beginning because you had Braun Strowman come out at number 7 or 8, and then Braun Strowman's the real deal. He's a big man, which you've seen big men before, but he has the charisma. He's developing very well. I really like what he's been doing, and he was the monster. That you thought he was going to stay there forever, but they had to really probably get him out of there before they got Brock and Goldberg in there. But too many big guys. You got to protect them somewhat. So Baron Corbin eliminated Braun Strowman. They're on different brands. Don't entirely agree with that. I don't mind it. I think Corbin is pretty good right now, but he's a little bit ways to go in my opinion. But I didn't mind that. However, we have to stop with Roman Reigns. We just have to stop. He's been in the final 4, if not the final 2, if not winning the last, 4 Royal Rumbles. The experiment has not worked. You already wasted a Royal Rumble win on it and a WrestleMania main event with Brock Lesnar. You already wasted that. And they didn't have enough confidence in that they had to have Seth Rollins come in and cash it in because they knew putting the belt on Reigns would have been a disaster. So they've tried to put the belt on him later. Nothing. Fans don't care. It's over. At least as a face. Now, as a heel, that's something different. If the fans will then change that we don't care energy, or you're trying to push it down our throats enemy to, all right, now you're a heel, we're supposed to boo you. But then you can get into that X-Pac heat territory where it's not heel heat, it's we just don't want to see you at all in our TV heat. And yes, there is kayfabe, but most of the fans nowadays are not kayfabe fans. They're smarks. They know it's a work. So it's tough. But they teased a fight with The Undertaker somehow because they allowed him to come out 30th. By the way, he came out 30th after he had fought earlier in the night and lost earlier in the night. Lost fighting for the title. So how come he gets to be in the Royal Rumble match? Again, this is why the fans don't like it. He comes in at 30, disappoints everyone. What if that was AJ Styles that came in 30th? AJ wasn't even in the Rumble. And you can make the argument that maybe he should have been in there instead. at least get some of his heat back or whatever. But whatever, that's fine. But the fact that he's the final two again bothers me. It just does. I'm sorry. It's just he's not a moneymaker. He's not. They tried for 3 years. It just has not worked out. So he eliminates Undertaker. You're probably going to see an Undertaker, maybe an Undertaker frickin' Roman Reigns match at WrestleMania. That would be awful, especially if Roman Reigns won. He doesn't deserve it. People are saying maybe we're going to have Cena fight the Undertaker, maybe. But at least at this point, though, it's still up in the air. But the bad news is that before the match, I thought that Bray Wyatt would have been a great candidate to win it. He needs the rub. After starting out the first 6 or so months with volcanic sort of heat and people really getting into the character, they have him lose almost every single fucking feud he was in, whether it was Daniel Bryan, Chris Jericho. Was the only one. Actually, Chris Jericho was the only one he won. He loses to Cena. He loses to The Undertaker. It's hard to think of the ones he actually won. I thought, okay, this is sort of a resurgence on SmackDown with him and Harper, and now with Randy Orton, who has had a great he's been great teaming with the Wyatts. Let's give it to Bray. Have him run with the ball. But they had Orton win it instead. He eliminated Roman Reigns. So the rumors now that it'll be Bray Wyatt somehow getting the title at the Elimination Chamber match and fighting Orton at WrestleMania. I don't hate the idea, but I don't love it. Just because if you're going to give him the WrestleMania treatment, Bray, why not go the full 9 yards and give him the Royal Rumble treatment as well? That's just my argument. Randy Orton's won the Royal Rumble before. He's a 10-time champ or whatever. He doesn't need the Royal Rumble win. At this point, you should only have guys winning it that need that push. Either the guy that the fans are totally behind, 100%, the premier star, which could be someone like an AJ Styles next year, either do that or give it to someone that really needs it. And I don't think Orton is either. I just don't. So it wasn't as bad as the last couple of years of Rumble, but it wasn't great either. Again, in the middle, nothing really happened. Good start, decent finish. As long as Reigns didn't win it, I'm happy.